right, man. Let's talk about let's talk about Teofimo Lopez taking on Josh Taylor. All right, in his backyard hometown of New York City. It's a war going on outside. No one is safe from. All right. So we got Taylor, Josh Taylor. Uh, looked as the lineal champ. Uh, by a lot of people in the sport of boxing. Ring belt. Take it for how you want to take it for. Um, and then also, um, and then also, he was undisputed, but then politics came into play, and then you got to remember too, you got to pay all them sanctioning fees. So you Canelo Alvarez, they prorate them. They prorate them to 1%. They prorate them to when you make big money, y'all prorate them. But when you ain't making that big money, guess what they do? They sit there and they charge you 3% 4 ways. The only belt that's free is the ring belt. So 3% 4 ways, 12% of your purse. That's a lot of money, especially when you paying taxes and you got to pay a cut man, your trainer. You got to pay promotional fees. You got to pay for your hotel room, all that shit. So all that shit stack up. They got a system that keep boxers broke. This is why these guys are creating their own promotional companies and a business companies to get write-offs and get additional money and write them off. So, that's why it's important, dude. Everybody got their hand in your pocket. You gotta pay promotional fees. You gotta pay for your hotel room. Um you gotta pay for all that shit. You gotta pay the cut man. You gotta pay the trainer. You gotta pay taxes. That's about 20%. If you get somebody that can write it off a lot lower, so basically half your check gone. And they're paying advisors, they're paying personal managers. I mean, it's a lot that come into play. And how many people they keep on salary to keep the cost down and then all that type stuff. But let's get into it. Let's start off with Teofimo Lopez. And I think he's doing some promotion, talking about he want to delete Josh Taylor. I think that's more about promotion. But a lot of people talking about, his biggest weakness getting into this fight is probably going to be his mental mindset. He says that he good, but then again, he on Punch Drunk channel. Shout out to Punch Drunk, talking about how his wife is taking them, divorcing him, won't let him see his son, and about to take half his money, right? And anytime you hear things like that, where you hear that's going on, and you hear a lot of these other guys in the manosphere of the red pill community talk about it and their experiences and trying. It's not too much trying to be a deterrent. Some people could look at it that way, but it's just a warning about going through that type of stuff. He not right. Everybody don't have that that I don't know what she barking at. I don't know what she barking at, but everybody don't have that Corey Holcomb mindset of saying, well, okay, you want to keep the kids from you, want to do that. Well, I just go out there and make another one to say F y'all. And if the kid turn 18, when he good, he come holler at me and I tell him what really happened. If you ain't effed him up. So everybody don't really got that mindset. Um, and well, that's hard to have. That come with, just being powerless when you go into the court of law. So mentally, we know that he ain't stable. Um, Boxing probably helped him get away from that, but it's all on your mind. And his family warned him, but sometimes, obviously, when certain people do certain things to you, make you feel a certain type of way. I mean, nobody should ever get married in their 20s or their early 20s and mid 20s. It's just, you should be enjoying yourself. You should be building yourself. You should worry about your career. But he's a sharp. When he's a sharp puncher. Good counter puncher. Heavy feet though. But you know, um, I think he's very capable of winning this fight. I think they both trended downwards. His last fight versus Sandor Martin, he lost in my opinion, but it was close. He got dropped because you know he overcommitted and he got caught, and he was out there just trying to go for blood and trying to take Sandor Martin out. Sandor Martin just killed him with aggression. But since coming up to 140, his first debut at 40, I think they bulked up too much versus Pedro Campa. I think in the second fight against Sandor Martin, he looked a lot better, bro. He looked a lot more leaner. He looked a lot more quicker. He looked explosive. He just was in there with a guy that was able to outbox him. You know what I'm saying? But he won't have these Nakatani, Sandor Martin issues in this fight. Um, yeah, he won't have these issues in this fight. He gonna have somebody, Josh Taylor can move around a little bit, but he's offensive. Not as rangy neither, but yeah, To, you talk about his strengths: sharp counter puncher, big puncher, athletic, young, strong. Uh, that's what you're talking about when you talk about Teofimo Lopez, and then you talking about what's his weaknesses? His weaknesses is he do got heavy feet. Um, he jumps off his feet when he punches, so that leaves him defensively not responsible. Uh, you know, obviously mentally he a little bit fragile, right? A lot of fragile right now. I mean, not lying, say a little bit of fragile. Um, you know, I mean, obviously, had problems cutting the ring off. He got problems with boxers. It looked like, um, just to name a few of those things. So, talk about Josh Taylor, another fighter who's trending downwards. 19-0, 13 KOs. What's Teofimo Lopez record? So 18-1. So 18 wins, one loss, 13 KOs. They both got 13 KOs. Josh Taylor 19-0, 0 draws. 13 KOs. And he been trending downward ever since he pretty much beat Regis Progress and left Barry McGuinness, in my opinion. Or Shane McGuinness, excuse me, in my opinion. I would say he said that he let the fame get to his head, whatever. A lot of people thought he lost to Jack Catterall his last fight. And I think it was close, but I think, Catterall lost, but also Catterall didn't take the belt when he had opportunity to have him hurt. He didn't capitalize on it. He didn't capitalize on hurting he didn't capitalize on hurting him. So he should have stopped him. He just kept doing what he doing instead of taking it to him. So Taylor got built up by Catterall in the Jose Ramirez fight. He didn't look as good as I thought he should have looked against Jose Ramirez. Thought he left a lot out there. So he been downtrending since the Regis fight. He said, kind of him and Ben Davison didn't click. And I think he might have left another trainer and then, but he also goes on to say that he was out of shape and he was enjoying his success a lot too much. He let the success go to his head. But the thing about it is, it's hard to turn it on and turn it off, especially the older that you get. So, is he focused now? Because you can't turn off the fame. He's been out the ring a long time too, man. A long time. Last time he was in the ring was last June. So he's been out the ring a long time. Or excuse me, last February. I'm looking at this fight last February. So he's been out the ring over a year, almost a year and a half. So, but you start talking about what he do well, switch hitter, powerful puncher, um, you know, big physical guy. He's a very, very big guy. He 32 years old, so he's 7 years TO senior. But not saying that's a strength, but just want to put that out there so they don't have it on box rec. But yeah, tall guy, big guy, good counter puncher, good offensive puncher, powerful guy. Can work him up and down pretty well. Athletic, can move. We start talking about his weaknesses, thinking some deep, I think he like to go on the high guard and jump in. He'll move his head every now and again, but defensively, I think he could be a lot better of lately. Um, Look like had troubles making the weight in the last few fights. Um, you know, had issues with the jab, with Catterall's jab, getting out of the way of Catterall's jab. Or also, by the way, he got a great chin, by the way, but he's so much bigger than everybody else. And he's tenacious too, bro. At strengths, but yeah, trouble getting out of the way of the jab. Um, and if he can't get box you on the outside, then he's a good inside fighter too. But that's another strength. But his weaknesses is when he try to get on the inside, when he try to work his way on the inside. If you box him, he has trouble getting away on the inside. And he'll not be defensive responsibly. If you cause frustration or make it hard for him to get on the inside, he'll just start jumping in and doing wild shit. So you get a chance to get him, but he struggled with boxers a little bit too with Jack Catterall. So he struggled with boxers. Um, some defensive inabilities there. I think responsibilities. I just think he get hit, he want to get you back, or he get frustrated once you start boxing. So them boxers give him problems too. So yeah, it's a view of his weaknesses, but for Teofimo Lopez to go ahead and win this fight, I believe that Teofimo Lopez um, needs to make Josh Taylor come to him. He needs to be patient. That's what I would say. I think he needs to be patient, and he needs to do kind of what Catterall did. He needs to sit on the back foot, let Josh Taylor, start boxing Josh Taylor, start utilizing his legs just a little bit. He ain't got to go out there. Jack Catterall wasn't, Sugar Ray Robinson or nothing like that. He needs to start using his legs, and yeah, he needs to start using his legs just a little bit. Make Taylor frustrated, make Taylor rush in, and then I just think really look to counter Taylor coming in with 2 or 3 shots. You know what I'm saying? And if he counter coming in, I think T.O. know he coming with the high guard. He gonna dip his head down, so you got to watch for them headbutts. But I think a good left hook from Teofimo Lopez and an uppercut, those are the shots he looking at, and I think that's what he should be looking at. So utilizing his jab, utilizing his 1-2 coming in, especially if Taylor in the southpaw position, utilizing utilizing that, and then just utilizing footwork, using the jab, boxing them, and then I think when Taylor's come in, be prepared to drop a hook or a check hook in there, or a hook, uppercut, 1-2, or even a double hook if you want to. He got problems making weight, so I would bang that drum a little bit, but I think that's the game plan for him. Let Josh Taylor create the offense. He get in, see he get bored in there, and he start wanting to jump in and be reckless. So let him jump in and be reckless, and just be prepared to sit on that back foot and counter him, and get your 1-2s off and spin up out of there, or then clinch afterwards, or step over and continue to work. So that kind of just a simple game plan for him. And for Josh Taylor, um, you want to go out there and you want to, I mean, obviously he can box a bit. Um, there's a couple ways he can go out here. He can box and make Teofimo Lopez, the one that got antsy versus Sandor Martin, who lacked discipline as well too, who jumped in there with Sandor Martin and started wanting to get reckless and make mistakes. So Taylor can kind of box on the back foot and make Teofimo Lopez jump in there, and then look to counter Tio coming in too. So um, both, kind of give you reckless pressure sometimes when they get bored or frustrated in there. So Josh Taylor can just, move around the ring, make T.O. come towards you, and then catch him. But if Josh Taylor's struggling to make weight, and that's fucking with his conditioning, or you see how big he is, you'll know. Um, then that may not be right, and that might not be the right game plan. In addition to that, also you on the road too. You on I don't know, she don't need dog barking. You on the road too. And with you being on the road, I think you probably want to be more the aggressor. So I think effective aggression for him, coming behind the jab, cutting the ring off on To, being more disciplined in his attack, his aggression, and not being as reckless. If he can be disciplined and not be reckless, and pressure Teofimo Lopez, and then start just picking him apart with the pressure, working the body, coming upstairs, checking his chin, I think he could get him. To faded in the round with Lomachenko. I'm not sure how strong of a 12 round fighter he is, but I think Josh Taylor best bet being on the road. I don't know how many fans gonna come over to support him in the crowd. I think his best bet is probably to be the aggressor, box a little bit, be the aggressor, and then just take Teofimo Lopez out. So I really think this is a 50-50 fight. Honestly, I know a lot of people surprised me saying that. I think Josh Taylor is on a down slope at 40, and if he continues to stay at 40 and kill himself because of the politics at 147 pounds, he gonna end up losing to somebody he shouldn't lose to, because his body, if you see how big he is, and then obviously the lack of focus. He got a woman, a fiance, or whatever, and now kind of why he started to decline, right? We know how that go. But To mentally not there. I think it can go either way, pretty quite frankly. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna take Josh Taylor. I'm gonna take Josh Taylor for a 10th round stoppage. I'm just got a feeling I think he can completely go the other way too. I think Josh Taylor stop him in 10. I think Taylor gets back focused. Not sure how the injuries are, but like I said, I completely see this going the other way. But I take Josh Taylor in 10 rounds over Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, and Teofimo Lopez is the underdog. We can go through this bet. So I got Josh in 10. But like I said, I believe you can completely go the other way. Um, just my humble opinion on that. But here you go. So TO is a plus 136, meaning if you bet 100, you win $136. Taylor's 174. You gotta bet 174 to win 100. So that's not too bad of you know of stuff. So then you got the round betting and all that. You know how that goes. Taylor winning one round, 100 get you 6,500 and so forth. TO, you guys. So the round, if it is a stoppage, the round that they expecting the stoppage in is the 8th round. It's the lowest odds that I see, plus 2,200. So if they are expecting a stoppage, it's for Taylor. It's in the 8th round, plus 2,200. A draw, obviously the customary plus 1,800. TO winning around 1 through 3 is plus 10,000. 100 get you $10,000. You see the if TO was to get a stoppage, they're saying it's going to be in the 8th round with the lowest odds. So the 8th round is pretty much what Vegas is predicting, at least FanDuel Sports. But then stop 100 get you 3,800. So yeah, I got TO and 10. I mean Taylor and 10. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Check out the box prediction playlist for more videos like this. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.